my mind.
This is the wax sculpt of Zach's head. So this is like -2%, and it has little different ratios.
Of Zach. So this was a production Series 1 figure, but a pre-production wax sculpt. And we had a tragedy occur, which...
It's right here.
Oh, okay.
When I bought this...
I'm sorry to
So
laugh at your
sad.
tragedy. And they're going, what are you talking about? Hello, my baby. Hello, my mama. I got a magic trick. Watch my thumb come up. So this was a solid chunk of what, I mean, you could feel it. It has that waxy film feel on my arm or my hand. You have the bolt that goes through the piece of wax. So tell me what happened. How did...
I opened it up. I had ordered...
Sleepy Hollow happen.
And got home, and it's... What are you going to do? I mean...
What? Tell me. I don't know.
I cried a little bit.
My wife came into the room when we were setting up, and she's like, what is that?
I collect adult toys.
Yeah. She's like, we're children. We are literally grown children playing with toys.
And then I've got
adult toys.
Goes the same as the bottom piece. Those broke off. So it's kind of cast on the other side, or where there's the...
So you got to get up close.
The antenna point of Bandura. So it's a wax sculpt of Bandura's head.
Gosh, dang, man.
And then some of the stuff comes and it's oversized.
Mm-hmm. They call them 2-ups.
Yes.
So, like with a G.I. Joe, for instance, they'll make them like this big when they sculpt them and whatnot. So then the detail is there, it's sculpted real nice, and then when they send it for production to China, China gets this big G.I. Joe figure, a 2-up, a one of a kind, and then somehow with their magic skills, they scale it down to a smaller production figure. And they'll do...
Do you have any of those?
I don't have any 2-ups, unfortunately. They're incredibly difficult to find, but I do have, you know, a paint sample. So this was solid molded into a, you know, there's no maker's mark, there's no Hasbro on it. And this would, after it was shrunk down, it would get sent back to the States, and then the guys at Hasbro would go, yep, nah, it looks good, we're good, we got the go-ahead, give out the color schemes, boom, 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 of how it's going to look, and then they would go full blast.
What is that one?
The driver of the Rolling Thunder.
Okay.
But again, another ex-employee, just relationship, meeting people, connections. That's the big thing with, get on Facebook, get in these Facebook groups.
Make friends.
Make friends, because it's no fun doing this stuff by yourself. These are just toys. What the fun, where I get my kicks is hanging out with my buddies, going to toy shows, going online, talking, doing these videos. You know, it's one of the best feelings on earth when I get messages all the time from people say, hey, I watched your YouTube video, it inspired me to get back into collecting, or where do I start? And I'm like, freaking start going to toy shows, start talking to people, and then you have these friendships that blossom and turn into real relationships. And
right, definitely, most definitely.
Sappy.
And then here's just not anything super amazing. One of the lots I've got.
Everything's amazing, Jason. Everything's amazing.
Go to show you. This is
What is
cassette tape box.
What's our cassette? Well, if you're watching this, you're an 80s kid, because most 90s people are not going to care about
This
this.
came from a guy, another Coleco worker, and it's just a box of goodness. And in here
Come on.
are, you know, the little switches and motors that go to the
This would get thrown away by most people, even employees.
battery operated hand puppets.
No employee would think this is special, that some guys would be collecting
Right.
this stuff.
And there's a bottom jaw.
Oh my god.
There's a top jaw.
Look at this. Unproduced
Oh,
test.
that's produced.
Sorry,
just
test color, because this would have been molded in a black or whatnot. Wow.
And here's another mock-up, which is part of the chair, and it snapped off, but it's obviously not
This
Not
is kind
molded
of his
plastic.
miscellaneous
Yeah.
junk bin that he threw stuff in, and that
On and off
30
switch.
freaking 30 years later, you got 30-somethings, 40-somethings going through and going, look at this treasure! But it's true, it is treasure.
Armatures that really work, they still work. I've tested them out
Oh
just
my
to make sure.
gosh, dang
Just
it.
for no other reason but because I could.
I'm going to do a quick plug because you probably saw the plastic crack in the background. And if you've followed me before, or Facebook friends, or watched other videos, I plugged the crap out of this because I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a documentary about toy collectors, the community, everything involved in it. And I have a few other YouTube videos, which I'll put one right here, boom, and you can kind of get to know what plastic crack's all about. Hopefully it'll be released sometime in 2018. So if you're watching this in 2064, then maybe in the description I'll have a way for you to watch it. And I'll be, how old will I be? Ooh, I'll be pretty old.
This will be pretty young compared to some people.
Yes, and this will be millions of the broken Sleepy Hollow, millions of dollars.
At
All right.
point in time, it'll probably be a candle. We'll be using it for warmth.
What is this?
That is... We had artists come through the Grand Rapids Comic Con.
Well, let's plug him. Grab, oh, his card fell through the back of it.
Did it? I have his card.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Unused gloves. You can challenge people to a duel. Now it's used. Chewbacca's glove. Horrible Chewbacca impression. But these were not sewed to the other pieces. Like, these are unused.
I don't know his name, but that's his card.
UKIYO Pop. The Art of BD Junkin. JUDKIN. Here's a website. UKIYO-pop.com. So he did a commission piece for you?
Yes, he did.
That is freaking sweet. Why is this not hanging above your bed? Framed.
I've got enough toys in the bedroom.
Perfect. Oh no, this is the R-rated version. We'll save that piece for last.
Okay.
I don't know why. I've been saving some of the best, coolest things for last. Let's go into my closet where I hide my secrets. An overview. What are we kind of looking at?
These are unproduced. These are just concept drawings that never made it anywhere.
Because all these start off as a drawing.
Yes.
They can't just start molding something. They have to have
Drawing,
an artist.
wax.
Yes. So a guy, an artist.
D-Lou who's known for a lot of the art stuff that he did for SECTAURS, E.T., maybe some Rambo. I'm not positive, but these are all board drawings from him.
Oh
so it comes to this, and then this piece comes
like
from
a blueprint.
that. Yep.
So, oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the original drawing, and then what do they put? Some copy paper over top of it. And they draw it typically with these kind of things at multiple angles because the sculptor's not going to be the artist, and the sculptor needs different angles and whatnot. And that may not be for this one, but other ones, because this one never made it to production.
Yep.
Correct.
These are just all concept.
Gosh, dang it, man. That is so freaking cool. But the Spider Warrior never made it?
Nope.
How cool would this one would have been?
Pinched it and the legs come together.
Look at that.
Something very similar to it, but nothing like that.
Yep. This is catching my eye. I don't remember individual bugs being packaged.
No, bugs weren't packaged individually, and they were never stapled together. This is from my understanding, this is a sales sample.
Oh. That just... But this...
Sales sample, or just a sample of what the packaging would have looked like if they would have gone the route.
Because they probably looked at cost and go, okay, how is it gonna... It's gonna be a smaller price point than the combo. Maybe people will buy this, and then they crunch the numbers and realized, let's just package them together. Because this one made production. This one...
Yeah, this was originally slated for the second series, and then was released in the first series.
Parafly was released with a humanoid
Yes.
counterpart.
But Dargon. It's
Gotcha.
Dargon's companion bug.
But there's I'm seeing 4 companion bugs here, and I only recognize 1. Why? What are the other 3?
These other 3, this is Stellaris. Shoot, I can't remember now.
Are these production?
No, these are second series. I
Okay.
believe this is Spider X,
Okay.
and I believe this is maybe Knuckles.
Gotcha.
Not positive on what they are.
That's all right. People won't Google it.
They're gonna Google it.
They're gonna Google it. That is sweet. 1985. Man, I love it.
But these all have their necks, just like the first series do. They all do different things.
Whoa!
A little button underneath.
That's cool, man. Let me see how much it hurts. Gosh, safety.
Hit you on the nuts. Knuckles. Not in the nuts. Hit you in the nuts is gonna hurt too. Then there's.
What was this? Look at that.
It's
my
pretty weak now.
goodness. But yeah, it's show the people what this is. So this is just a hollow.
Yep, you squeeze it.
Wasn't there a piece?
There's another one that's very similar to that from the first series, but this is Swipe.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's
What do you
about as good as I'm
expect?
gonna
It's
get.
like 30 years old and it never made production. And again, piece of what was
yeah.
that?
A lot of these have the wax.
Super glue wax, not super glue.
Hot glue.
Wax to probably put them for photographs,
Right.
so they would stay still.
This might be the closest thing to this photo that we get.
Ah. Let's look at that.
This is Strangle Bug.
Strangle bug, huh? Yeah, all of them had those wax pieces. So, ooh, yeah, you're right. Same kind of action.
So if that's how it came from, this is the original drawing. And this here is Stellaris Bug.
Oh,
Right.
right here,
Yes.
the Rhinox. What just happened? Gosh, look at that. They actually put some maker's marks on
Yep.
there. So these were.
It was gonna go,
Yeah,
and then
they're-
they got canceled.
Oh my gosh. I wish I would know the backs.
there's
Oh
this
yeah.
little-
This
and this
dude's
little guy.
one of my favorites looking. Ah, so you could maybe wrap this around a figure or
Yep.
something, and then once it's wrapped, you do that and whoop, pulls it to his mouth.
That's what I believe.
Jason, thank you so much for sharing these things. And we have something pretty massive that we saved for last.
Last big piece. I have more,
Surprised they.
but this is the biggest one I have.
All right, I'm going to. Let's move this table very cautiously so we can set this up right here on the ground. La 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 la. Pre-production.
This is
Goodness.
the only companion bug I do not have. I missed it.
You missed it.
I missed different variations of him. Hard copy, I missed prototype, I missed run. This is Gyrofly.
Gyrofly. So let's look at. There's Jason back there. Look how freaking cool. I'm gonna get this. So what am I looking at? This
You're
is.
looking at a blueprint, a schematic.
Oh my goodness.
Numbers and proportion and
Yeah, because all these numbers are measurements of how big things are. Down to the. Whew. Uh-oh. Sorry, 1 second. Let the. Oh, my cat locked in here and freaking out.
cat out, one cat in.
Yes. Oh man, this was set to open up.
And something would fly out of it.
Oh my gosh. And those little guys we were just looking at are the companion bugs.
These are all companion bugs. Yes.
So that were not produced.
Yes.
Schmoly. What's your plan with things like this? Do you plan on ever getting them matted and framed or?
It's a possibility.
Yeah. Section. Oh my goodness. How long have you been collecting these?
Sectors on and off. I don't know. It was such a hard find. because if I had everything.
Yeah.
And finding more and more, and there's actually a .com, SECTAURS.com.
Yep.
Is a friend of mine, a friend acquaintance,
Mm-hmm.
friend, nice guy. And through looking through his stuff, I started searching more and more and more and more, and started stumbling across it here and there. And
Are these sentimental to you? Do you remember having any as a kid?
the Series 1, yes.
Of course, you didn't. No one had Series
It's
2,
true,
but
but-
Series 1, you have
Yes.
fond memories. Or...
Yes, very much so.
Oh,
Didn't have a lot of toys as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
but the toys I did have, I still have.
That's cool, man. Yeah, same with me and He-Man. Like, there are some I refuse to upgrade because why am I gonna? These were played by me. These,
Yep.
were my protectors and.
It's,
But-
when you had nothing else to go to,
Yep.
toys were always there to play with. They never say no.
They never say no, and they always said, keep on having fun, keep on
Exactly.
playing, and your imagination would just grow. And then
Yep.
we turn this, into a new type of play. We're not. Well, at least I'm not. I don't know if you are going pew pew and banging the toys together anymore.
That's Kyle Moore.
That's Kyle Moore. That's true. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the Star Wars video. But I still display them in battle scenes. We still appreciate them. We're holding them, we're touching them, we're talking about them, we're analyzing, and the hunt. Like, this is the ultimate. This is
the best hunt.
This is looking for dinosaurs, even though dinosaurs are extinct.
It's
kind of
that
hunt.
word of mouth, passing here, making communication, making passage, and 6 months down the road, a year down the road, you get this crazy phone call from somebody you have no idea from at BFE saying
Yeah.
that, hey, so and so and so and so and so and so said that you were looking for this.
Yep.
I have it.
Yeah. That's how things have worked out all around my collection.
Yep.
I remember you said something in one of your videos or in one of your posts that you were looking for this, or this was kind of your line or your specialty. I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy that has something that you might be interested in. And boom! And you're like, holy
A
moly.
lot of people don't understand word of mouth does work.
And it's relationships. If you treat
People
people
don't-
well.
Talk to each other anymore.
Exactly.
It's all on the keyboard, and this, which is still talking to each other, but it's not personable. It's not. Remember, it's so and so had purple shoes on, and so had something, but it's always something that
Yeah,
brings
purple
you.
shoes.
No.
Purple shoes. I don't know why I said that. Edit that out later. I'm kidding. We're gonna keep that. So yes, an overview. Thank you so
We had
very.
more time. We could have gone through more.
Yeah, I know.
We could always do it again.
And we can. That's another thing. We're gonna do a regular production video at some time, and I'll post a link in this video for the production ones, the ones that you remember from a childhood, and we'll go through them and talk about them. But I wanted, again, like I said earlier, I wanted to touch on these freaking
I'll bring down the
ones.
hive. I'll bring down everything.
Yes, you promise?
I promise.
All right, man. It's been
I
a
have all
pleasure.
day to do it.
Woohoo!
I'll
All right.
bring all this stuff back.
Our
when we
wives
go
are
to work.
actually waiting upstairs, about ready to murder us. About 40 minutes ago, when
Mine
we
probably
were
already left.
we were literally getting, because we set up, we organized this, talked about it for a while, and that setup took a half hour. So our wives come downstairs as we're ready to hit the record button, and they're like, "Are you done yet?" And we're like, "We haven't even started yet." And the look my wife gave me was
Well,
like,
mine too. It's,
all right, so
but,
wish us luck.
it's pre-production stuff. It's not. It's delicate. You drop it, you break it.
Absolutely.
It's not like a 1980s toy. You drop it, you got to clean the cement off. You probably broke it.
That's true. All right, make sure to hit that like, subscribe button. Please subscribe, and then share it if you like this enough. You can share it on your Facebook profile, or don't. I'm watching. See you, Jason.
Bye.
I run it like a point guard, Justice Curry, the trading toy god. A Skeletor, your bones apart, and Rio blast you from the jump start. King Randor or Bonaparte, it don't matter, they tug at my heart. When I sit back in my chair and check out He-Man, to be like him, I wonder how it would be, man. To go back to a kid, I wonder how it would feel, man. To have Joes and Mo too, keep it real, man. I reminisce on days when I played, and days dazed in the haze as we laid in beds mama made with cold lemonade. Sun let off rays, drove by my lampshade. Think about it now when it all gets blurry, like a whiplash. All of the tears in a hurry. Remember who I am now, and I sure